And we are back. Welcome to Say What? Right here on TV47 Weekend Edition. I always love to have you guys here. Don't we all?
Yes, we do.
Pastor Doka, why are you laughing like that?
See, I'm happy. I love being here.
You love it.
Wow.
Always looking
Pastor,
forward.
so of course, we
Wow.
love to see you here. Last week, ulikuwa kwa screens, ulikuwa
On my screens, you know. But today I'm live.
You look really nice.
Thank you so
the
much.
sense of fashion, Pastor Sue.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys.
Amazing.
So tonight we have a very interesting discussion, like I mentioned before the break. We're talking about parenting, and especially during this time of, our kids are home, holidays are really long. What are you going to do? So we have our question of the day. How will you make sure your child stays safe and engaged during the school holidays? What will you do as a parent? I know a lot of us have different things, but we can all share them tonight. And let me start with Pastor Doc. First of all,
yes.
How do you feel when it's holiday season? I know when the kids are in school, you know where they are timings.
Yeah.
But what do you feel just generally about the holiday season?
I first of all think it depends on the number of children that you have.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because the more concerned you should be.
Yes.
Yeah, but I also think that our schools and our teachers really do a good job.
Yeah.
Do a good job.
In terms of being with our children.
Right.
For a better part of the day. And as parents, what happens to us is we spend time with them maybe during homework time or meal time, and they go to sleep. So when schools close, this is when now parents are faced with the reality that they have to be with their children.
Yeah, that they have kids.
That,
Like,
they have kids and they have to do parenting 101 for extended hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's something that parents need to plan about, not just even for this holiday, but also for other holidays. And I believe we are going to have a great conversation on some of the things parents should be able to do.
Absolutely.
In order to, because it's going to be a long holiday.
It's a long one.
It's 2 months.
My goodness, yes.
Yeah, and
that's
2 months, it can be productive or destructive.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Pastor Sue, Pastor Doc has said about, first of all, it depends on how many.
Yes.
Now you have 3.
Me, I have 3.
But unajua uzuri ni wakubwa sahizi.
Sasa ni wakubwa.
But how did you normally, as a parent, the parents who, when kids close school, they're like, "Kai, jafanya nini?"
Wow.
Were you like that kind of a parent because of the 3 children that you had?
I think parenting has no script.
And I like that.
Yeah, parenting has no script. But one of the things that we can share are principles. What are the things that others have done that enabled them to have very wonderful children? Because now we are now fully grown. And one of the things that I have seen that works very well when it comes to holiday, immediately when they come, let's say for example they have come during the week, immediately the first weekend or in the middle of that, after 2-3 days, have a meeting with all your children. And that's something that I've seen Pastor Monene do for many years. I didn't see that in our family. So I don't know where he got that, but it works so well. And then we sit down with the children when they were young, but now they are big, and we tell them, now you have come for your holiday. What are your plans for the holiday? Akuna? Na wewe? Sijui? Na wewe? Nitajua? Okay. Oh, so it seems like nobody has a plan. I think me have a plan. Number 1, what time shall we be sleeping? Every family must know how to do time management.
Got you.
Because if you don't do that with the Wi-Fi, our children want to be on laptops, on phones during the night, and then during the days when they want to sleep.
Got you.
So you have to have time management and involve them and let them now speak. Don't impose. No, discuss it. What time can we be sleeping?
Okay.
Munasema midnight. So from midnight, everybody must be asleep. Can we put the Wi-Fi off? You must have rules and regulations that governs this institution called marriage. Without that, everybody will do what they want, cook at any time, sleep at whatever time, shower at any time.
I like that idea.
The mother or the father, because there are families that are single and others have a father and a mother like we, then we should set rules and regulations that must be routine. Routine means something that we are doing at a particular time. By so doing, it tames the children to know what is the next thing. But when you leave them to just govern themselves the way they want, I tell you are going to have confusion in that house. Because you will find someone ate and the plate in the morning for breakfast is still there at midnight. So we must talk to them. And communication is very important in a family as blood is to the body. You can't just parent children by just, you know, commanding them, do this, like the way we were brought up. You know, for us, even we didn't have a say.
You're just told,
and you must do it at their time.
Do kiboko.
Yeah, na kiboko, hata siyo kiboko, hata sijui ni vita ilikuwa inakaaje.
Vita.
So at the end of the day, it confused us. And that's why you find now our children are not the children that you can beat and yell and shout. No, you have to learn how to negotiate, to discuss. You get the point, eh? And then talk through and see it. No, Dad, waking up at 10 is very early. Let them also come in. So what is the appropriate time? Maybe 9:30, you know, because they slept at midnight. So that's very important.
So the discussion comes, you discuss the time for sleeping.
Time management. I'm talking about time management.
Yes, time management.
During holiday, you must also create norms. Family norms are very important.
Yes.
Like every evening at around 10, we shall be having Bible study. We shall be praying together. We'll be having storytelling. You will tell us what happened in school. You know, most of us, the parents, we are so busy, and Pastor can tell you that we even don't catch up with our children to know how was the term, what did they go through, how many times were they punished, how many times, you know, were they in the wrong, you know, how are they, you know, get to know their life in school. What are the challenges? What are the new things that they encountered? Were their friends that they felt they were a bit toxic to them? Get to know also their social life in school. So you find the only time we can catch up is the first 1 week. But whatever they have given, you can build a foundation for you to build up on the subsequent topics that you can discuss. And that's what I have seen Pastor Munene do with our children. Until now, every one of them is wherever they are. You get the point. So during these children who are below 12 years, you have to have a norm. You have to have a routine. You must have a language that both of you talk. Not when he speaks something, and mimi naambia, na hivyo baba amesema, nyinyi mnaona kama itawezekana. You don't do that. You must have discussed. Yeah, what do you think is appropriate for these children? And niambia, no, hiyo 9 unasema my wife is not possible. Can we tell them at 10:30? You know, we discuss. Before now we come to the children. Otherwise, you start arguing in their presence. They know, dad na mama pa wako pamoja. And from there, confusion gets into parenting them.
Honestly, I love that, Pastor. I didn't see it like that. Having a meeting and
before, if you are a husband and a wife. But if you are single, you have a meeting with yourself and then go and talk with your daughter or your sons.
I love that.
Oh, yes.
Pastor Doc, what is it that you do that has proven to work for you?
Well, I have one son.
So you're in a safe place.
How old, Pastor?
So he's turning 10 next year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So,
congratulations.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that as parents we need to remind ourselves is that parenting is a balance between mentoring and monitoring.
Mentoring
and monitoring.
And many times when children are in their formative stages, many times what we do, we really focus on monitoring the children, and then they come to understand the parents as these people who are just here to make us observe the rules. When they enter their normative stages, which is slightly just after adolescence, they are used to us as monitors, and that is the time now we want to calm down a little bit so that we relate with them and begin to do mentorship. And rebellion normally comes from there, because how can you be my monitor for a decade and then all of a sudden you want to mentor me?
Or even be my friend.
Absolutely. So parents need to balance between monitoring and mentoring, so that when we come to a holiday like this, we have already trained our children in such a way that we can be able to enforce the rules, but also we can be able to have discussions on some of the things that we need to observe as a family.
I like that.
I normally look at it, I have some 6 R's of what parents can do. The first one is we have to ensure that the children rest. We have to remember that we do not have to convert the home to be a mini school. They have just come from school. The calendar has been intense. They have sat their exams. they want just to, you know, to stay away from that intense program that they have had. So parents should allow their children to rest regardless of whatever grade or stage they are in school.
Okay. Wonderful.
And then we have to mix it with the second R, which is to ensure that the children relate. They relate with one another, they relate with everyone in the household, and they relate with people in the community and people in the extended family fraternity.
Right.
So if it's visiting aunties and cousins and shoshos and so on, they have, because that is very difficult during the school days, because we are running a very intense school calendar. Some of the kids are even picked earlier, and sometimes they go to bed without the parents seeing them. Maybe they sing them in the morning and so on. So relate is important. Thirdly, we have to think about the children rediscovering, and by rediscovering, these are things that are inside them that are not academic. Okay. Like, for example, we have to provide opportunities and platforms where children can be able to discover or rediscover their talents and their gifts. And there are so many programs. We have DVBSs, we have DVBS, what is that? DVBS is a vocational Bible school. Okay. Yeah, for those who are Christians, you know, there are churches that organize that, and children can go there. They do artwork, they do athletics and many other things. All right. And then the other R is we have to think about the responsibility. Like when the children are at home, we have to teach them that you are not just here to take or to receive. You can be able to help the parents, you can be able to be part of what the domestic manager or domestic assistant is doing. And I think the final R is rejoicing. Okay. Let the children party. Absolutely. And I'm not talking about the party as we know it. Because I'm talking about this, saying party because we are going to a Christmas season. So make sure that we make arrangements for there to be memorable moments. The joy, you know, if there's a birthday party, if you know, if you have to travel, if you have to go for holiday, and so on. And I think if parents can look at those, it will be a good balance. The 6 R, rest, relate, rediscover. Responsibility and rejoice. I like that. I was trying to tick and see. So I like that, honestly. Persons who come into you, like they're different in this, especially in this generation we're in. It's very different, like you mentioned, from how we were raised, where you were raised, and the kids we're raising. Now there's this thing called social media, and it goes, of course, with screen time. Before even we get to the outer, you know, the people who are in the outer environment, the things that are available. Therefore, how do you make sure that your children are, you know, stay safe? Is that a concern that you've ever had with Kina Wisdom, that, you know, are they safe? Are they being bullied? How can parents take care of that? Because now it is part of us. You cannot ignore it. You can't take social media out of us. I think one of the things that we need to understand, and especially we, the older generation, is to accept that times have changed. And because times have changed, then we need also to change with the times. And one of the things that I would admonish every parent is to make sure that you create quality time with your son and your daughter. And what you do, like if you have 3 children or 4 children like I, take one child at a time and then discuss with them. How do they want to use the internet? What are the things probably they feel they would want to watch? Just discuss with them. Mi napenda ball. Si kwanza kuambia wewe una watch nini? Our children, you can't tell them don't. Those don'ts. Ni zako. You have to negotiate. You have to negotiate. And then tell them, okay, football, then after that, let them just give you, even if they will not tell you everything, even there are things probably they would also want to see, but just discuss what are the pros and cons of watching some things like porn. Like for me, I'm very straightforward. I don't beat up the bush. I tell them, no, what you know, there is masturbation sites. And if you watch that, you utaanza kunyonga, and then you will need to treat you. They don't want to go to mommy. You need for treatment. Pastor Munene will pay. But those are hard to conduct. To have. Pastor, you see that for me, I don't know how to beat up the bush. So I ask them, are you careful that the groups that you are in, you don't go to masturbation sites? Mom, no. Sasa mambo unafikirianga tu mambo ya masturbation. Namwambia because 90% of the things that will come on the internet, even me when I open
the first thing is hot sex in India. If I don't have self-discipline,
why India?
I'll click and,
India has
and watch. Is that not true? I'm just giving an example.
I know those.
So I even we talk because anataka kunionyesha like it's not an issue. But for me, I really want we discuss that. So then they will tell me, then what about porn? When last did you watch porn? Mom, si niwe ulituambia mambo ya side effects za porn ya kwamba inakuanga na mapepo. Mwambie sasa after mapepo wewe uangaliangi. You negotiate. Mom, okay, kuna group na kuanga na huwa wanatuma lakini mimi si watch. Mbona usitoke kwa you see now? Kuna kitu kingine nimejua. So you have to create a rapport whereby it's an open discussion and don't look like you are the prefect and is a student.
Yes,
no.
yes.
You have to look like you are part of them and you are in their world. Get into their world and then assist them on how they can still stay in their world without getting corrupted.
Okay,
you get that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So it's a matter of just one thing individually, dealing with every child as an individual, and don't bring your children together before you have talked to every one of them. Then after that now, after you have established that, bring them together and say, there are things we were discussing with wisdom. There's something we were discussing with Winner and Joy. By the way, how should we handle internet? You know, just ask them through that. Sasa mom, see that's so abingwas. Okay, it's abingwas.
The internet is so big.
What is your thought on that? And don't get irritated.
Yes.
Ati mtoto anakaa kama kuonyeshi heshima. You don't have that. With Gen Z, you have to reason with them. That's one thing I've realized.
Yes.
So that conversation is very important. So that now you can understand what do they watch. And you also, you can join them sometimes. You can go to the history, monitor, as he has said, monitor and mentor them. Monitor and mentor. That's very important because most of the times we monitor, but we don't mentor. And then now I give them scenarios of what I've heard. If I get something on the TikTok, someone is talking about how they got into masturbation through watching this. I tell them, you see, so we are also not excluded from this. We can also fall into this trap. So now today, because there are a lot of videos that you can use to actually bring education to your children, use that. That's one of the things one of the tool I use. If I see something that talks about maybe sex before marriage, nawarushia too. You get even someone speaking from somewhere, but I find it very healthy. I do that. And by so doing, there's something I'm building. Not only what I speak, but I can also get something that Doc has spoken, Pastor has spoken, and I can just throw it and tell them, just think about what was the thought of this man? What do you think he wanted to communicate? And from there we pick up a discussion.
I like that. So not pushing them
Don't
away.
push them, please.
And being shy about wanting to know which side.
Nimesema kila mtu aende bedroom right now. No, those things are good. We are the people who are done that. You have to tell them, wow, it's now midnight. Have we broken our norms? No.
I like that.
Firm.
Like you can't be easy ones.
You are firm. You are firm, but you can't shout, and frown, and show them uanze kuchukua mwiko ukiwafukuza. No, our children, no. They watakuchezea tu and they will know you're just a bully. You're just a bully.
I'm just remembering those days.
You have to create a very good rapport and then them feel they are not in a prison. The way you said, let them feel they are in a restful place. And then now discuss also. Go to ChatGPT. Go to Google. Just what are the side effects of saying on the screen for more than 4 hours? Let them tusome sote. You getting that? That's a good thing of today's parenting, that you can just write something, so much in knowledge. And so from there, they're able to understand. So you must be that parent who is ready for negotiation, discussion. You get the point, without so much imposing. Though that does not mean that you should not have rules as a parent, but just discuss and then mentor them in the right way.
Mentoring, all right.
Oh, yes.
Pastor Doc, still on this issue to do with social media, it really has a big effect on our children. They'll see, people are even getting affected. Oh, I don't have so many likes in my video, my picture, until it gets to depression, all these issues to do with mental health. As parents who have, these children who, are maybe big on social media or they like social media, as much as you can help get to know what they are watching, how do you protect them from being affected by these things and the things that they see? Being realistically, aware that these are also children who, they will not tell you everything as a parent. They also have their secrets and they want their space.
I think I'll begin by doing a comparative. I think for many millennials and for the boomers maybe and the Gen Xers, I think when we were growing up, during those years back then, the world really had not become a globe. So we didn't have an idea of what is happening in other cultures and in other countries. That's why we were very traditional, because we only knew life is what happens in our village. So if I'm from Meru, I probably just know Meru Polytechnic, Meru High School, Meru Primary, Meru M-Pesa, Meru Sub-District Hospital, then I'll marry a Meru girl, and then I will be buried at Meru Cemetery. If somebody comes and tells me there's a place called, Swaziland, or there's a tribe called Zulu, unless I read it in the books, I will not really accept, because my world has been built around that Meru culture. But now you see, with globalization, which has come as a result of technology, now we have access to other cultures, and we have access to information just by the touch of a button. So the way we were raised up during those years is not the way we would raise our children today. And maybe just to put some emphasis, you see, sometimes, especially for us parents who are raising up the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, because of the race for the dollar or for the gold, what we have done, we have limited parenting to provision or to presence in terms of gifts, but we are not present in terms of us being there. There has to be a balance of presence, that is providing for the children, and being there emotionally for them, so that we can be able to influence them to make the right decisions. Today, many of our Gen Zs actually will not listen to some of the things that Pastor Sue is saying, simply because we have restricted or we have limited our parenting to provision. You have a house, you have school fees, you have your school uniform, you have your little pocket money. What else do you want from me? Children don't just want presents, they want your presence. And when you're present in their life from an early age, you will be able to have those discussions that she's talking about. You won't be coming in as a cop, as somebody is saying, in this house people sleep at 10. If it's 10 p.m. And you have not gone to bed, this and this will happen to you. You can't do that with this generation.
No, you can't.
So what we need to do is to have conversations with our children. You see, when I was growing up, my mom used to say it's important for you to read books. The technology at that time was you need to have a physical book that you are reading during the holidays. But today, it's different. It's technology and social media and internet and being online and so on. And as Pastor has said, it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
It's becoming bigger.
In fact, now it will be mandatory soon that schools should be able to provide, and some of the schools are doing it, providing the gadgets and so on. What we need to do is to have conversations, on the pros and cons. Like, for example, social media in itself is not bad.
Absolutely.
And being online is not bad. But now, as a young person, if you spend so much time on social media, this is what happens. If you spend so much time online, your brain can undergo some neuropathic changes. So that now we also have ChatGPT. People now don't want to think. They just want to give it a prompt, and it gives you answers and it gives you answers and so on. So we need to have conversations with the children, so that we reach a consensus on how we can be able to use social media. One of the R's I forgot, actually, because I gave you 5, is regulate. There's supposed to be 6. Regulation of social media. And you cannot regulate like a government regulator. Is you have to agree on what are the general rules about being online and so on. Now, you have talked about sometimes young people get into depression because they are not getting likes or followers, and sometimes they're even tempted to do extreme content. So that they can be able to get their attention. That is a parenting gap, because that is a person who is affected because they don't have followers or likes and so on, is a child that does not have a sense of identity, so that they think that validation on social media gives you identity, or I have to do something that will make people like me. But as parents, when we inculcate in our children the idea of identity and this is who you are, and you don't have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for you to feel like you're somebody.
Yes, yes.
They're not going to have that pressure.
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot of young people, they are very concerned, and they will do whatever it takes to get attention on TikTok and on Instagram, and those are identity issues,
So
which is a parenting gap.
All right.
You have to be a mentor before you are a monitor, and you have to be present before you bring presence.
Okay.
You will not get into those spaces.
Those things.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, imagine guys, we've done a
We have only said 2 sentences.
But there's something that we cannot wind up about because it's something that I had already introduced online.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these sleepovers, you know, during the parental. I know it's a long one, but as we wind up, we cannot miss to talk about that. Pastor Sue, what do you feel about those things?
Sleepovers.
And the youth camps and all these things that make, you know, just your kid just leaving the house for a couple of days.
I think one of the things that we have to agree, your child will not be with you all the time.
Yeah.
And so you need to prepare them for the outside world, how to live with other people. And I want to agree with Pastor Doc that there are things that you need to cultivate during this formative age, between 3 years to about 12 years, and during the teenage. When someone gets that personal identity and you know who you are, it doesn't matter who mingles with your children, they will still escape. And I've seen that. Yeah, they will still escape.
That's correct.
And so much more as we fear the sleepovers, we need also to be careful, because the reason why do we fear sleepovers? Because of what we went through. Some of us were sexually molested when we went for a sleepover. Some of us were taken advantage. We became lesbian. We became forex. I'm hearing now it's forex. Inaitwa Sim 2 forex. Because of those sleepovers. Some of us started taking beer and taking drugs and substance because at home the environment cannot allow you to do the things that you think they are of your age. And so one of the things I would say, what Doc has said, emphasize more on creating a rapport with your child. Discuss what are the side effects of drug and substance abuse. When I look at the book of Proverbs 31, from verse 1 to 9, the word of God talks, Good News Bible, that's the version that I love. You find a woman who was called Mama Lemuel and teaches this boy that one of the things you must do, my son, never spend your energy on women. That's sex. And then he says, alcohol is for those who are dying. You get the point? So he was talking about drug and substance abuse to the boy. And this boy was now mature, and he wrote Proverbs 31 in remembrance of what the mother taught him when he was young. So these are things that you need to teach your children. You might think they are not getting them. And then, like for me, what I used to do, anytime I would see a mad person, those days there were mad people, I would just stop the car and tell them, what do you think could have caused this man to start doing this? And then let them bring the discussion. I think alikunywa dawa. I think, by so doing, it's very important. When you see something, you can use that as an example to your children to communicate something. So, but now, if I'm a drunkard, mom, I smoke, I sleep, I club. You see, now such things I cannot talk to my children because they will tell me, mom, you see that? So the challenge we have is because what our children grow seeing in us, children learn by what they see, not what you tell them. So when they see that you are consistent in your character and in whatever you are telling them, they are easy to copy. We have always said, manike see, manike do. What your children will likely find it's very important to the parent. That's what they'll think is also important to them. Like for us, you will hear Sundays, you hear them, kwa some wisdom, kai mom, ukitaka kukosana na daddy, wacha maucherewe church. Aki mom, wewe harakisha, unakuta because the father goes very early in the morning. So children learn by what you do, not what you tell them. And so we need to be very good examples. Parents, now we are in for holiday. Don't quarrel in front of your children. Don't shout at your husband, shout at your wife. You start quarreling and the children are just there. You might think it was just something. That has an effect to their psychological, later on in their lives. You will find them being toxic because they saw you doing that. And so this is something that we need to cultivate as parents. Make sure that what we are telling them, actually we are doing them. It doesn't work because you said. It works because you are first of all a doer.
Okay, got you. Man, time is over, but Pastor Doc, let's stand up as
I just want to agree with
especially with with regard to...
Children do what they see, not what you say.
Wow.
So you need to model more what they need to do than instruct them. Children learn by observation.
Yes.
And when it comes to this issue of sleepovers, the reason we are afraid of it is because we really cannot predict what our children are going to do there. Why? Because we have not mentored them. So we know it's going to expose our gaps
as parents.
As parents. But if I know, just like you said, children are visitors.
Yes.
They are with you for 18 years and then they'll go to another country.
Yes.
They will do the sleepover there, and you'll not be there to monitor. So this issue of where is my child and are they doing the right thing, we can start tackling it by raising the children. The Bible says, bring up a child in the way that he should go. And after he has grown up, he's not going to depart from it. So if you know what you have done to your children, you are never going to be concerned which companies they keep, because Pasi has said they will escape if there is danger. They will know how to make decisions.
Wonderful.
So
I like that.
The sleepover itself is not the issue.
Yes.
This is who they are.
It is who is in the sleepover. And what decisions they will make.
Okay, you've taken it to the next. I like that. So we have so much feedback, but you know what? We will see if maybe we can continue the conversation next week. I'll not read the feedback because of time, but finish us for us, Pastor Sue, and where can we get you? And also, Pastor Doc, where can we get you?
Thank you so
much.
You go. Men Fast.
Men
Fast.
Men Fast. We have a man here.
That's a new one.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think parents have a great opportunity to spend time with their children. So do the right things. You know, get your children out there to enjoy the holiday and so on.
Yes.
I am Pastor Doc on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and let's talk over there.
Yeah, let's talk over there.
You know.
And he's always here with us anyway.
Wow.
Almost every Saturday.
Almost every Saturday.
As auntie.
All right.
To speak to the parents who are there during this holiday, it is important for you to know that your children will mirror your character. They will mirror your behavior. And so it's important for us to know that whatever we say does not matter, but what we do is what actually sticks more into their mind. And so if you are there and you have children, don't worry. Make sure you bring them up in the way of the Lord. And as Pastor has said, it is teaching them the way they should go, not the way they should not. First of all, teach them the way they should. Then the not will be automatic. I'm Pastor Sumunene. And remember, when we come for this show, we must treat some people, guys.
Lazima
watibiwe. Watibiwe akili, watibiwe mwili, na watibiwe kila kiroho. Now, if you're there, did you know that before I became a pastor, I'm in the medical field? We have a facility in Kasarani called Clay City Medical Center, and that's where I have been for over 25 years, treating the patient. That's what I do. If you're there, you are a man. I'm a man advocate. Na kuna vile tu joy gun afanye kazi na joystick. I'm here to tell you there is hope. So kama uko hapo na ulinyonga, ukiwa primary, secondary, na sasa unashindwa utafanya nini? Ulijikamua. Ulijinais. Please, Pastor Sue is here to rectify that mistake. If you are there, you have premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, your penis has become very small, we are here to rectify. If you're there, you are diabetic, you have hypertension, you have cancer, you have high blood pressure, any chronic condition, we are able to reverse. And there's a way we reverse using diet, using other means. As you continue with your chemotherapy and radiotherapy, we are able to come in and help you live longer. And so my number is 0712 265 746. I will help you. It's private and confidential. Men don't stay there. Ukinyonga, usikae hapo and you're not satisfying your wife. Marriage is a place where we are supposed to satisfy each other toa. And there's no toa in heaven. We must do it here. So make sure your wife is satisfied, because one of the greatest advantage of toa in marriage, according to Deuteronomy 22:29, toa humbles a woman. When you do it very well, that woman stays very humble and submissive. Men don't fail in your duty. See you when I can't avoid you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, always lovely having you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was short, but you know what? Lazima tutaendelea next week, okay? God willing. Thank you so much for watching. Good night. Say what?